Before we start, I just want to put a viewer discretion is advised because some of the lyrics that we talk about from this song involve essay and cutting and eating disorder. So if you've gone through that and it's something that you can't handle, then I would recommend maybe not going through with this video. But other than that, I wanted to just give out that warning and get to the video. So in December of 2023, one of my favorite newer bands that I had found around 2017 when they had released their debut album, Feel Your Feelings, Full of Regrets, announced they were breaking up. I don't necessarily know fully what all led to it. All I know is they summed it up to, we were all going to be doing different projects and going off on our own and doing other things. Nothing about any, internal turmoil or whatever. Like I said, I don't know. There's probably more that went on behind the scenes than we know about. But one of the people I knew that we were going to hear from sooner than later was their lead vocalist, Lydia Night, who has decided to go solo as expected, write kind of more, I don't necessarily want to call this song a full-on pop song. It's definitely on the alternative side that can definitely be seen as some sort of, rock-leaning track, but definitely, alternative pop rock in a way, as she released her debut solo single, Pity Party.
It's all just a pity party. Oh, what a joy, what a crowd.
Man, I gotta tell you, this thing hits hard because she gets very down and personal with things in her, personal life that she went through. I mean, there's one where she's talking about she starves her body for the 17th time, said I ate my lunch, what's another lie? Because if you remember, they did release a song, The Regrets, I should say, released a song called, oh god, what was it called? It was a song where she was talking about how she had gone through this eating disorder that was, making her sick, and how that affected her, mentally and physically, and she got over that, thankfully, and she's starting to kind of get back on track with that. One of the other lyrics that really got me was saying, I promise that I won't cut my arms because I'm so sick of having long sleeves on my body. A line like that most of the time, I'd be like, it's just your typical, cutting your wrist line. But the thing about this one is you can tell it's real because of the emotion in it. Whereas when you have other, artists who are trying to, I guess, show that they're like, oh, wait, we're really depressed, emo in a way, and they want to try to fit in with the scene, they'll make a wrist cutting line and you're just like, okay, dude, that stereotype is just, it's stupid. I mean, there's people that do it, but just because you're in one certain set of a crowd doesn't mean that everybody does that. But with her, the struggle she went through, she was just saying, I was going through a lot to a point where I was cutting, and it got to a point where I just got tired of wearing long sleeves to cover up those cuts, and she knew that she had to get help. And basically this whole song is just kind of, again, her talking about, like, how she felt like back then she had so many negative things going on that she was kind of seen as using that to profit off of what her band had done. It's a self-pity party, so let's just, keep going. What does Lydia have next for us? Because she also dealt with what is still alleged. I'm not going to sit here and say what happened because, frankly, I don't know the, real truth to that case, other than Lydia Night said back around 2020-ish, I think it was, that Billie Joe Armstrong's son, Joey Armstrong, had taken advantage of her when she was underage, made her do sexual things that she didn't want to do and that she legally couldn't consent to because she was under the age of 18. So then there's that trauma that, she's dealing with in this case. It's just overall a very, very personal song, sad song that just makes you feel even more bad for her. Plus, I like the aesthetic of the music video. It's simple. It's just Lydia walking around, dressed up as like a clown or what looks to be like some sort of clown doll or something like that, insinuating like, I made this my clown show and now I gotta sit in it, and, she's dressed up in public walking around like that because she was basically saying, it seemed like back then I was just doing whatever for attention grabbing, and it's a very smart music video, and it definitely brings off the emotion that she's trying to portray throughout the song. And this one has been one of my favorite songs of the year, just listening to it multiple times and feeling the emotion every single time, because there's some stuff here in this song that I can relate to personally. And when a song hits you on a personal note, that's, when, it truly connects with you. And it's really making me excited to see what she has next, because I'm assuming that this means some sort of, EP or album is set to release for her. And if she can make songs like this where they're bangers, but they're also very fucking sad and relatable, then I'm down with it, and I think her solo career is off to a great start. Like, this does definitely sound like something the Regrets would have done off of their last album, Further Joy, but the thing that was making me lose my interest in the band, at least a little bit, their album, Further Joy, their last album, did win my Album of the Year for 2022, so it wasn't like I was completely off the bandwagon, but the way they started out with this pop, punk, riot, girl, garage rock kind of thing, and finishing off strictly pop, it just felt like Lydia Night was taking over the show, and I was like, see, but it's not the Regrets anymore. But now that the Regrets are disbanded and she's off doing her own thing, this is kind of what I expected from her, and it just fits her so well from the aesthetic and the attitude and the stuff that she went through. It's definitely going to be a fucking sad ride, but I am here for it. That's my thoughts on the debut single by Lydia Night titled Pity Party. Would really like to hear in the comments below, what are your thoughts, especially for fans of the Regrets like I was. What does this song mean to you when hearing her and the struggles that she went through, that some of it could have ultimately led to the disbanding of the Regrets? But that's it for me. Stay safe out there, and I will catch you all in the next one.